since last time we met, you killed off half of the universe.
That's right.
The snap is such an iconic moment, I think. And such a big surprise. How did you manage to pull that off?
I mean, I think a lot of it was committing to it emotionally, and there's a version where he snaps his fingers, and the movie is over. But we felt like the real power in that was the emotional resonance, and thinking through the idea of what would it feel like to watch people that you love disappear right in front of your eyes, and that's really what I think is impactful about the last 2 minutes. No music. Just the pure emotion of, Okoye having to watch the king that she's been assigned to protect with her life disappear, and there's nothing she can do about it. Cap watching Bucky go, Tony watching Peter. It's all these really, really pregnant emotional connections between these characters that were, made for very poignant storytelling moments.
A big part of building to that moment too was, at that moment Thanos defeats the Avengers in a very clear way, and so we tried to make Thanos. It was very important to us to make Thanos a relatable character in the movie, even though he's a sociopath, even though he's misguided with how he does things. It was very important to tell a story with him where he had dimension as a character, and there was you could see the humanity in him, and that he did have qualities that were relatable and understandable, in order to hang the whole movie on that moment.
I have a few quick questions from our readers, from the Swedish fans. Since we know nothing about Endgame, what can you tell us? What is it about? What can we expect?
No, we can't tell you anything, really. We're protecting the plot of the film. We can say that, the way you distinguish two movies that play back to back is through a point of view and through tone. It's different tonally. That Infinity War has a different point of view than Infinity War does. It's told from a different point of view. And certainly there's a resonance at the end of that, of Infinity War, about, heroes losing for the first time, and that carries over.
That's our road forward into Endgame, is how does a hero move forward from a moment like that at the end of Infinity War?
And if you could meet any MCU character and sit down, have a beer, who would it be?
Any MCU
in real
character?
life? Rocket. I'd have a beer with Rocket. Yeah, I think he'd be the most entertaining person to have a beer with. Or character.
At least for the length of a beer.
What would be your best advice to young filmmakers?
We always tell young filmmakers the whole key to sort of growing as a filmmaker is just to keep shooting. That's the most important thing. It's like, find any way you can to keep creating work, keep shooting work. And today it's easier than ever to do that with technology. We all carry around an iPhone in our pockets. So, at the very least, you can use that to make a movie now. And even very interesting movies are being shot entirely on iPhones now. So yeah, that's the most important thing. Is filmmaking is a craft, and like any craft, the way you become good at it is by doing it over and over and over again.
And some very exciting things are happening in the Marvel universe with new heroes, new TV shows, Disney Plus. Are you guys staying in the Marvel world, or are you looking forward to do some other projects?
I mean, we've got, we're going to take a break for a little bit. I mean, we love Marvel. We'd work with them again in a heartbeat. But we've got a project coming up next starring Tom Holland called Cherry. It's about a U.S. soldier who comes back from Iraq with PTSD. It's loosely based on a true story, and he develops an addiction to heroin to cope with the PTSD, and it's an indictment on the opioid epidemic that's going on in the U.S. right now.
And you made these 4 movies, huge movies. What has been your hardest scene to shoot?
Whoa, the hardest scene to shoot.
I think the airport sequence in Civil War, that was a very tough scene.
That was, yeah.
Very complicated from a choreography standpoint, and it was outside on a back lot in Atlanta where it was like 110 degrees while we were shooting it. Everyone was in their outfits, and It was physically demanding.
Yeah, it was tough, and it was also, it's very. That's a sort of a sequence where you have a lot of characters in it. It's an action sequence, and the way we find our way through action is we always design everything around character and around story. So, figuring out how we were structuring the action in the airport sequence in Civil War to sort of like track ourselves from character moment to character moment as we went through that sequence was really difficult, and something we kept revising and revising as we shaped the sequence.